Hello guys, today we're gonna review Let's School. Patio Games released Let's School on PC earlier this week and we got ourselves on the morning bus to attend this charming school management simulator. Set in a rural town and leaning heavily on that quaint village charm, Let's School is a new take on the traditional educational journey, developed by Patio Games and published by PM Studio. It puts player in the role of headmaster. Given care of run-down educational establishment, it's up to you to rebuild and run this dilapidated building, eventually turning into a center for excellence. You'll be expanded to attract students, employ staff, create courses, manage money, craft a building and keep the kids in line long enough to pass their exams and rise the educational attainment of surrounding towns. While this evokes Sega Town Point campus, Let's School draw on its own inspiration, while the core of both games revolves around outfitting a rundown school and training a bunch of clueless bipeds to work better and count good. This take on the genre is a lot less boisterous. Gone are the cartoonish clowns and silly astronauts, instead the bright colors of 2 points are subdued into warm autumn tones and light pastel shades. Character design seems deliberately blocked, and even the animation of the school building feels a little round around the edges. As you gaze down on the opening clutter of abandoned highways and unkempt lawns that fill an unopened school building, it almost reminds me of a high school art class. It's a great set of visual ideas that set it apart and present a tone that makes you want to chill out and get to understand the personality behind this title. Much like the teenagers that you'll admit, Let's School is far from fully matured from day one. Players picking the game will need to gather students from a range of local towns, opening new admission centers as the game progresses and they build prescribed faculties. This all makes perfect sense and the induction provides a solid tutorial for navigation the praise of menus on offer. Much like other people management titles, the students come with their own stats and need to be managed using broad strokes to stop them from wandering out of line or disputing class, as they will if you don't keep them busy. Keeping an eye on the delinquents or the teaching staff, like the students, they come with their own and goals. Unlike the students, they take money out your coffees on a regular basis. Both sides of the faculties have plenty of equipments to keep them on track. Whether it's training, teaching, collection time, the environment, or exam result. No one of these gets anywhere without a classroom, however. Building is central to school. The physical appearance of a building is the outward reflection of your ability to manage anything semesters throw at you, an increased complex beast to be tamed. Starting off a shanty set of corridors and cracked wooden frames, you'll use a fairly familiar construction control to drag out rooms. Click and drop furniture and add extra facilities. The act of entering a room is intuitive and the usual aspect all arrive frequently quickly. Within a couple of hours, I had 2 classrooms, toilets, a staff room, a tea room, research lab, and a cluster of lemon trees dotted around the grounds. This doesn't fall particularly far from the sort of ideas explored in 2 Point Campus. Like this adventure, Let's School is largely a game of balance, and while income is never too difficult to keep on top of if you don't keep research moving fast enough. Then the curriculum comes to halt very quickly as the entire school adventure immediately afterwards. That said, passing is consistent and never overburdens headmasters in a single semester, as long as you keep ahead of a few times like research. While those lemon trees provide a decorative touch, other themes like trees, posters, water fountains, and garbage bins have a more particular part to play, the precise research lab. Assuming you can keep the kids in class, the teacher trained and the course material coming out the lab, then this more manual item help put conclusions that keeping eyes on the screen mean keeping players constantly absorbed. The same can't necessarily be said of Let's School. It doesn't enough to provide variety and deep across the core gameplay system, but fails to do quite as deep when touching other ideas. Despite that, it's not quite there yet. If you're looking for 30 or so hours of back to school or some child out sandbox management, then pick up Let's School. It definitely scores pass marks all around, and I'm sure it will get better given some learning time. Pick up Let's School now over on Steam. Thank you for watching, guys. Goodbye.